Have a wine with Sydney food writer Lisa Diminor as we take you behind the scenes where the locals like to play.
Hi guys, I'm having a wine with the Mistress of the Vine, the woman awarded Best Wine Bar List and Best Short Wine List by Australia's Wine List of the Year Awards. From wine blogging to Bloodwood, this woman has travelled, fallen in love at Love Tilly Divine, and is currently head sommelier at Bondi's iconic Icebergs Dining Room and Bar. Gabrielle Webster is an active member on the Australian wine scene, a mentor for women in hospitality, and is passionate about what she pours with enviable hair as well as her personality. Gab, welcome to the series.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Lisa.
Advising on a wine is a critical part of the dining experience and, in my opinion, rather personal. Where do you start, with the person or the food?
Generally with the person. For me, I think you give so much away about what you want to drink just by being in a venue, what you order to start with. You know, if you're a sweet cocktail person, it tells me that you might like a sweeter red wine, sweeter white wine. I generally, ask the sort of classic questions. What do you want to drink? What do you want? White, red, all that kind of stuff. But
it's about reading people, isn't it?
It kind of is, You tell me without meaning to what it is that you want to drink without even meaning to. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Because for me, I had an idea that enology is not too far off from psychology, because one's about, studying the behaviour of humans, and the other is about, the characteristics of grapes and winemaking. So both is like an activity of analysing, and you analyse without even probably thinking.
And it's complex. Like, what do you want to drink can be quite a complex question.
Yeah,
what do you feel like?
And subjected to the day,
the moment. Meal. What are you celebrating? Are you commiserating? Are you having a meal? Are you just
absolutely,
just getting wasted after work? Like, everything's
whatever floats your boat. So it's fair to call you a pro pourer and a pro analyzer, I would say.
Thanks.
What's a wine faux pas that gets you every time?
And it's rosé. It's the colour. The colour has nothing to do with the sweetness, people.
Okay.
Nothing to do with it.
Are you hearing that, everyone?
Yeah,
nothing to do with it.
Seriously, it kills me. Just light, dry rosé.
Is that a stereotype?
Nothing to do with the colour. It's got nothing to do with the colour. I just would like you all to know that.
Okay.
Nothing to do with the colour.
All right, I'm going to try and spread the word.
Yeah, please.
I had a massive wine faux pas. I was really young when I was first married, and we had dinner with my husband's grandpa, who, by the way, is a publican and was a founding member of the Club 15 or 15 Club and lifetime member of the AHA. So he knows his stuff.
He knows his stuff. He knows how to drink.
Yeah. And he said to me what I had just done, which was touch the lid or the neck of the wine to the tip of the wine glass, was what Sir James Hardy told him was the equivalent of picking one's nose. I was so
the faux pas, like the pouring of a sparkling wine and not getting it all in the one go. It's, that's a thing. I don't know why that's a thing, but that's a thing. Topping someone up with the wrong wine, that's also a thing.
Wow.
That happens. I don't know. And generally just, I think, not a faux pas, but forcing someone to drink something that they don't want to drink is something that's a faux pas in my book.
Absolutely.
Some people don't want to drink organic or natural wine, and you have to be respectful of that. It's not my belief, but
it's not everyone's taste.
No.
Well, I had that as a question. Would you, if you had it your way, would you have us all drinking amber wines?
Yeah, I kind of would. I'd have everybody be a little bit more adventurous, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily all need to be skin contact, but I would, if I had my way, everyone would be paying as much attention to where the grapes come from as we do as where our food comes from. And I think organic and biodynamically grown grapes, that's the way forward, and I think if I had my way, that would be what everyone would be drinking.
I think we're slowly catching up. Like you say, we're getting there with our food, and especially with our meat. We'll
100%.
eventually get there, because how a wine produced is just as important as the wine itself these days.
Yeah, and there's all sorts of things that go, everybody knows this, but yeah, just more attention and more thought about small producers and farmers, and it's all heading in the right direction for sure. And that's what, if I had my way, that's what we'd all be doing.
Sure. I have to say, I'm a bit behind the eight ball with the natural wines, but I definitely need to start introducing it after reading up on it.
It's like everything. There's good wine and there's bad wine. There's great, soulful, beautiful, energetic natural wine, and there's some pretty terrible, alternatives as well. And so, you can't. I think I'm in the camp that loves it.
Yeah.
But I can also recognise that not everybody is that way inclined, and there are some not great options out there. So it's, you know,
Any
you can't force
one
them.
in particular we should start off with for us newbies?
That's
a hard one.
That's a hard one. Look, it's funny, if you do a little bit of research, some of the greatest wines in the world are biodynamically grown, you know. So, you know,
And they
I
just
think,
don't advertise it.
Yeah, and that's just how they do it. This is how they've always done it, you know. I think Milton from Gisborne in New Zealand is a great place to start if you
Okay,
were
I'll
intrigued
write that
by
down.
biodynamic wine. James and Annie have been biodynamic for over 30 vintages, certified biodynamic for over 30 vintages, which is an incredible feat, you know, and the wines are clean and delicious, and their daughter Monique is in the Adelaide Hills with a label called Manon, practicing the same ethos, which is really incredible. So if you're looking for natural wine, definitely go and
Okay,
drink.
done.
She might kill me for calling it natural wine, I don't know.
Well,
See how we go.
well, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I'll
It is.
definitely have to give those a go.
Oh, they're beautiful. 100%.
Gab, what in your opinion is a grape that is overrated or overproduced?
Oh, look, it's funny. I mean, I work at Iceberg, so we sell a lot of rosé. Rosé for me is the killer at the moment. I mean, there are some beautiful producers that make wonderful rosé. Domaine Tempier, there's, you know, Cobalt Ridge making great rosé. There are some pretty stunning examples around, but it's the overproduced, picked too young, cheap, nasty kind of stuff that we're seeing that everybody seems to like is something that's killing me at the moment. Try something else, guys. Just give it a go.
Well, it was always supposed to be a table wine, wasn't it, rosé?
Yeah, look, it's a time and a place, and I get it. It actually does really suit our climate. It does, you know. It's, you know, on a hot summer's day, a glass of chilled anything is an amazing experience. But, you know, there are other things out there other than just
I definitely
rosé.
like my rosé with a little bit of body, and it's so hard to
And
find.
some flavour. Just like, so I want something with some flavour, and you know they're around. They're definitely around. It's just, and there's great Provence rosé as well. I'm not sort of bashing anyone, but it's a style that I think is just getting whacked at the moment.
It's the
coming
new
out.
Sauvignon Blanc.
It so is. It really. I mean, Provence has learned from Marlborough. Like they're in the same camp in my head at the moment,
Wow.
which is. I hope I haven't upset anyone by saying that.
You can say anything here.
Yeah,
It's probably
good.
not going to go very far.
Who knows?
Who knows if anyone's
Who knows?
listening? Gab, what obstacles have you come up against in your career, especially as a female in a predominantly male role?
Yeah, I mean, look, there are some. We still get some weird ones, you know, when you go to a table and the table's like, no, can you get me the real sommelier? Like you're just here, and that still happens. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't really bother me that much anymore. I mean, you know, there was a time when you would go for a lunch or you go on a tour and you'd be the only girl there, and that's not really happening so much anymore. There's lots of women in the industry that are really kicking goals and doing some pretty phenomenal things. So I'd like us all to move on from that whole that whole vibe, you know, like we're not second rate. We've got great women, have got great palates and can do a really good job on the floor. So yeah, I mean,
It sucks that you have to work that little bit harder to prove yourself, but when you do it just must feel
it's
so
just,
good.
Some people have got stupid. Some people are just stupid, you know,
Yeah.
and that's just kind of how it is.
I
It's
second that.
Yeah, you know, just because you're young doesn't mean you can't do a job. Just because you're a female doesn't mean you can't do a job, and just because you're, I don't know, 75-year-old man doesn't mean you can't do a job. Maybe that does another thing, but you know,
totally.
yeah.
It's so easy to stereotype too, you know.
Yeah, and hospitality, it sort of, it is, you know,
Yeah.
and wine especially, you know, it was very male dominated for a long time, and it still kind of is. There's, you know, lots of boys clubs and
Totally.
this kind of stuff, but I think that's everywhere as well, you know, so
Have you ever been guilty of stereotyping a diner or a guest?
all the time,
Yeah.
like all the time. And I mean,
It's
yeah,
human
it's
nature.
just, you know, you can't
You
help
see a
and-
man of a certain age, you
and
think
you're
you want
like,
some kind
you're
of
just
baller
some
red.
old dude, and sometimes people really surprise you, and it's just that's what I live for. That's really, really great, and will teach me a lesson as well to just not. You can't judge.
Always
You can't.
learning.
Oh yeah.
Gab,
100%.
when choosing a wine for a diner, what's the PC way of gauging what their budget is? Because I can imagine that would be an awkward process.
Well, it's tricky, yeah, because I mean, have they ordered prosecco, or have they ordered champagne? What I mentioned earlier about the first drink is always a really good indicator for who are they, you know?
Okay.
So if they walk in the restaurant and go and order a $1,200 bottle of champagne, I'm like, all right, well, all bets are off.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. But if they're a little bit cautious about price to start with, or you can sort of, if you offer a wine that's maybe a little bit too expensive, you get a sharp inhale of breath and like, okay, we've gone too far. Or, you know, and sometimes I've just straight out mentioned like, what's your budget, you know, which is always kind of good. I think that's something that
And there's nothing wrong with that. But
absolutely not. And
some people get really uncomfortable. I have no qualms in saying around this price point.
I want to spend $70 and that's finding something in that budget. And it's actually, as a guest, I think will be so much better if you could just be more open about that, because we could find you.
I'm probably too open.
No, but it's really, really good, because there's lots of little things that are hidden in wine lists that, you know, if you're price conscious, and to be honest with you, most people are at the moment. You know, you look at the world that we're living in. It's money's, you know, it's a thing, right? And so
a big deal.
The difference between spending $70 and $100 on a bottle of wine for a lot of people is massive, you know. And you know, if you let your som or your waiter or anyone know that that's where you want to go, or your bottle store attendant or whatever, they'll generally try and find you the best thing in that little bracket, you know.
Would you say if it's on the wine list, then it would be suitable to the food that the restaurant's serving?
Yeah,
so
I think
it's not
it
necessarily a bad choice if they go for the lower end of the spectrum.
I'm a firm believer that the wine list it's a supporting document. Like we work for the restaurant, so the wine list has to suit, you know, it needs to kind of be in the same cuisine spectrum or style, and most things should perform with with a variety of dishes. And
There's nothing wrong with staying at the one end of the spectrum, and there's nothing wrong with splashing out too.
Mate, there's nothing, like it's you know, and if
it does feel good.
It's really good. Like it's really, really good. But you know, we hide gems in wine lists for people that know. You know, there are some things that are in the list here that I've got now that if you can find it, and good on you, and you deserve it. So it's a, you know, it's a little.
They've done their homework.
Or they've just chosen well, or they've just, you know, just
born with good taste.
Like they're just lucked out. But you know, there's some little gems in there if you know what you're looking for.
Cool, awesome. And speaking of wine lists, is there a wine list in Sydney right now you're currently crushing on?
Yeah, I love 10 William Street's wine list. It's old mate from Hubert. It's insane. It's really, really good. Who else? I love Giorgio's list at Cafe Parsi. Like everything on that list I want to drink. Wow. I really want to drink. So, yeah.
Do you get this,
I like them all. Yeah, I can be not overly judgmental, but I love a good wine list, you know. It's got lots of different things to drink and lots of, you know, different price points and producers I've never heard of. I love that shit. So it's, you know, that's exciting.
That's your thing.
Yeah.
Finally, Gab, what wine would you drink when you're in it for the long haul? What's a big
session
or a
wine?
Good session wine?
Session wine, rosé. Look, I'm a bit of an acid hound, so I'd go dry Riesling, or I'm Chablis all day. Absolutely love.
Stay light.
Chilled, yeah, stay light. If I'm in for dinner, then amber wines for sure, 100%. But like a smasher, I want acid and texture. Basically.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Gab, it's been such an honour talking to
too,
you.
Lisa.
You're an
Thanks
inspiration
for
for women. Thank you for
Stop
taking
it.
us behind the scenes here at Iceberg's Dining Room and Bar.
Thanks.
You're listening to Have a Wine, your audio review on eating, drinking, and taking the long way home. For guest updates, follow @HaveAWine as we chat to serious talent and industry insiders. Subscribe and stay curious, Sydney.